everybody, welcome to another pregnancy update. I am 28 weeks and 1 day today, and today we went for a scan at the hospital just to check in. So this is an additional scan to what you'd normally get. You normally just have a 12 and a 20-week scan in the UK, and everything at the moment is still looking as good as it did at 20 weeks, which is great news. All of his measurements are really average and in the middle. He's moving really well, and the one thing they were quite keen to look at was the amount of amniotic fluid that there is, and at the moment it's on the higher end of average, but it's nothing to worry about, so he's still well within normal parameters. I felt a little bit anxious about this, and I think it was sort of more of an issue than I realised it was, because I actually really didn't sleep well last night, so I do apologise if I seem a bit out of it. And now I just feel really tired because I'm so relieved that everything was okay. I really didn't have any reason to think like that. I mean, everything, had been progressing normally, so I don't really know why. I think it was just hospitals make me anxious. But we did get a picture. He doesn't ever seem to be in a particularly favourable position for photos, so once again, this is what we got, and he looks like Voldemort, don't you think? Voldemort baby. So yeah, he's where I expected him to be, judging from what I could sort of glean from movements that were going on. So he is head down, which is good, but obviously that could still change if he feels like it. But he is basically somewhere between back to back and lying on with his back down my left side. So that is actually exactly where Leo ended up. And I'm just wondering if maybe that happens with pregnancies, whether there's just a comfy spot in my body that is more comfortable than anywhere else, or whether it's purely coincidental and maybe he will move. One of the things that I am a bit worried about at this point is fetal positioning, because the last time Leo was really not in a favourable position for labour to even really get started properly. He was very high, so he never engaged into my pelvis, which made it very difficult for any pressure to be applied onto my cervix and actually help it dilate. Obviously there are certain hormones that happen and actually help your cervix dilate, but one of those things is also just the pressure of the baby's head being pushed down onto the cervix. So at this point I'm wondering if there's anything I could do that might help with fetal positioning. I'm aware of spinning babies, although I haven't really looked into them in much detail. And the other thing that I was wondering about is alignment. And I did do a brief bit of reading about this, but basically a lot of the pain and discomfort that most women feel in pregnancy is due to poor alignment of hips and spine and everything. But I know that my posture is quite good, and I actually don't experience a lot of pain or discomfort during pregnancy. So but I am wondering, how would I know if I had problems with pelvic alignment, and whether it's worth going to see somebody. I'm not really sure if something like acupuncture might be able to help, or a chiropractor or something. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'd be more than happy to know about them. Sorry, tired. Yesterday I had a good day. I felt up to walking quite a lot. So I walked to and from school in the morning and then again in the afternoon, which is actually quite a long way overall. But then I did feel really quite tired come the evening, and I had restless leg syndrome, which is really annoying. And I have now noticed that lying on my back actually results in me feeling not too well, which is the pressure of the baby in the uterus pressing on blood vessels and nerves and stuff. So I'm trying not to lie on my back too much, even though it is very comfortable, because the muscles in my back and my sides just tend to get very tired by the end of the day. Driving is becoming a bit more of an issue. I'm very close to the steering wheel now, so I think probably what will happen very soon is John will take over driving, and I will be able to supervise him in the car as long as I'm in the car with him, because John has not passed his test yet, but I've had my licence long enough that I can supervise him. They did a blood test today. That'll just be a regular 28-week blood test, checking if my iron levels are all up to ticket, which they should be. Last night he was very fidgety, the baby, and he was just, I think I was sleeping very lightly anyway, lots of tossing and turning. And the other thing that kept me awake is that I've been a bit itchy the past couple of days. Now I know that this can be a symptom of a potentially serious condition called cholestasis, which is a condition of the liver which some women can develop during pregnancy. So I already knew about that. I did mention it to the doctors today, and they just said to me, keep an eye on it, and if you feel unwell, like it's generally accompanied by feeling unwell. Itchiness is generally on the palms and on the soles of the feet, but I don't have it there at the moment. I've just got it on my arms and my legs, and I just feel like itchy. There's no rash, there's no sign of anything that would be causing the itch. It just started a couple of nights ago. So that was kind of keeping me awake as well. And like I'm doing it now, like I'm itchy just like here and stuff. I think it was just a combination of anxiousness and itching. And I noticed that every time I go to the hospital I just feel vulnerable. I don't feel safe there, and I don't know how to... I want to feel safe, because I don't want to give birth in a place where I don't feel safe, because that ultimately won't help me trying to give birth. So I don't really know how to reach a compromise between the two. In general, after the scan, the advice was we're going to go for another one in 6 weeks, which is 34 weeks. So about halfway between now and the end of the pregnancy, which just seems crazy to think that I'm so far through this pregnancy already. And just to keep an eye on how my bum feels. If it starts to feel very tight all of a sudden and like it's suddenly got a lot bigger, that could be an indicator that there is a lot more fluid all of a sudden, and that could be a problem. So we need to keep on top of that. If it suddenly becomes sort of like tight like a drum, like I could play it like a bongo, then it's time to let them know, and there will be consideration as to what can be done next. And yeah, just keep an eye on the itchiness, if it doesn't get any better or if I feel unwell. Now I did feel a bit unwell last night, but I think I was just tired, and I think I'm continuing to feel tired today even. I'm hoping it's nothing serious. I'm hoping that it's just a hormonal thing, because it can be. Braxton Hicks are like, I have some days where they are just all the time, and other days where they don't happen at all. And they can happen while I'm stationary as well, although they do tend to happen more if I'm quite active, and yesterday was a very active day. They're not painful, they're just a bit annoying and a bit uncomfortable at times, and the only time that I have noticed some discomfort is right at their peak. There's quite a lot of what feels like pressure on cervix, which I don't know whether that's actually possible, because he's not in my pelvis yet. Anyway, yeah, doing yoga as much as I can. Some days it's not even proper yoga, it's just stretching and seeing how I feel. Looking still into hypnobirthing, just trying to decide on a course that is right for me, and I want to get on that really soon, because I'm running out of time and I need to practice these techniques if I want to really use them. So I completely forgot to do the belly shot, so here it is, 28 weeks pregnant, and it's looking good. It's feeling very smooth, very sort of like, I don't know, spherical, I guess. Gets a bit itchy around the belly button, so generally if I notice that happening, I just put a little bit of oil on it, and it just helps to alleviate any itchiness. So yeah, all good. Yes, I think that is everything that I need to say this week. Might be a bit of a long one, sorry about that, but lots to say. So I will be back with another video really soon. Bye guys!